Hi everyone, welcome to Shabanj, my YouTube channel. For those of you who have not been here before, on this channel I talk about business, finance and life in general, and my name is Lillian. In this particular video we're going to be talking about things to avoid whilst you're up on your financial independence journey, and that's one thing that I'm actually working on. So I've been working on it for the last last 6 years, but there are things that I don't want anybody who's on the same journey to end up doing, so things to avoid basically, and one of those things is trying to live in the moment. So when I set out on this journey, I was going to live within my means, and I meant that. So that meant that there was no wants whatsoever. Everything that I spent money on was a need. That way, so I was being very minimal. So I was minimalistic living, which I was doing for the last half of the 6 years before, until I realized like life is for living. You cannot just continue on this journey without actually having these memories and experiences. I miss on a lot of things like birthdays, people's weddings, and I was giving excuses, oh I can't afford it, or I'm working, or I can't get that day off, because I didn't want to spend money. I didn't want to fly out, let's say go to Uganda or go for a hen do in Spain or somewhere, or Turkey. Just didn't do it because I thought, oh, I'll get away with it by saying, oh, you know what, I'm saving up for a house. I cannot justify going out on a holiday, or well, it's not a holiday, but going out on a hen do, whereas ideally you're meant to plan for that event, because it's not something that's just going to happen. Like you're not going to be told about a hen do like tomorrow. You know about hen do months before, so you can actually plan for it. But to me, my mind, because I was saving up for a house and I wanted everything in the house to be brand new, and I'm on this journey, I want to live like this, it's going to be my way of living. It meant that I did not spend a penny because I was living below my means. So even when I was able to have enough savings, I still did not want to spend a penny, which meant that I was living a really boring life. And I like to eat, I like to shop, but all those things had to go because I was on this journey. So when you're on that journey, just have to plan for it. If you have to go out with your girls or with your with your mates and things like that, just have to plan for it. If you're not going to go out, it's going to be a night out. You're not going to drink or you smoke, or you're going to go out for a meal. Just have to estimate, because you don't even have to estimate. You know how much you're going to spend. Because if it's going to be a meal, you will know roughly, because you can see that menu prior to you going into that restaurant, and then you can plan, say, you know what, if I have a dessert, I know that my budget's going to end up being, let's say, £150. So you know, in the next 3 months, you're going out for a meal with your mates, and you spend about this much, you know what I mean? As opposed to actually not going because you're on this financial independence journey. Another thing to avoid is having excuses all the freaking time. When somebody tells you about something, say, I'll think about it. When you know, you don't even have to think about it. You know you like that sort of stuff. For instance, I like shopping. If anybody says, oh, let's go out shopping, what are you doing next weekend? Are you off next weekend? Yeah, can we go out shopping? To me, it's going to be a definite yes. And then I'll then say, oh, actually, I'm going to see my nephew, I'm going to see my niece, or I'm going out for a meal or something. I always say yes because that's the kind of things that I like to do. So trying to have an excuse each time you actually ask to go out for a meal or do something you actually love or you enjoy doing. So trying to live in the moment as you go into, as you try and go onto this financial journey. So as opposed to you just not living at all. So life is for living, and by that I mean like just going extravagantly, like going on to live in a place or go to a restaurant where you know you can't afford it and you have to dip into your savings for you to be able to do that. Even if you have to dip into your savings, you know how much you've taken out of your savings, you just have to replace that money. That's all you've got to do. So living life like that, trying to avoid all those things.